Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. This time, back in Jubilee, Normal Battle 2 this time, which is an Earth stage. Shockingly, oddly, does not have the magic or physical indicator, and there's a reason for that. Because there are two enemies in this fight that are both at the same time, and one of them is weak to physical, and one of them is weak to magic. So you can take your pick on if you want to nuke both of them at the same time. If you want a single target nuke with magic, then do it against the knight. If you want to do it with physical, nuke it against the mage. It's really up to you. The starting hand is for green orbs, so that's something to keep in mind. And it's fairly straightforward if you have Elmesia, but if you don't have Elmesia, Earth is, of course, the least powerful just element in the game by like 10 units or something. It's crazy. So there are not a lot of options. So I apologize. I apologize in advance that this video is probably not going to be catered to a lot of people. But use what you got. Disclaimer number one, please use what you got. This is a guide video. It's not the end-all, be-all. Understand what the concept of the fight is and what you need to do, and then build around that. I can't build a team for everybody. Disclaimer number two is that these are the units I use for protection gauge. These are the units I use for skill points. And disclaimer number three, don't forget to go into your town to Tempest, optimize your Earth building, so whatever Earth nuker you're using can do more damage. But let's get started. Alright, so the first team, max score team, nuking with Elmesia, of course, the strongest Earth character that we have at this point. Diablo, again, makes an appearance. Green buff because we're running Velzard, Synergy. The old Masked Hero, again, to prove that if you don't have the new light Masked Hero, you can use this one and you'll do just fine. Exalted Champion Rimuru and Milim are here, so we can do the orb change turn 1 of Milim. We put Space Milim in for the extra skill points on turn 1, which will enable us to use Milim's orb change. And then Rimuru also has the attack buff. Milim is solely here for the rainbow orbs. Like, that's it. That's the only reason. She doesn't really do anything else for this team. Alright, so because we're running Space Milim in a support slot, we have 36 points. Means that we can use the rainbow orb change here. Boom. Changes both her and Rimuru, leaves the green hero orbs. We can bring Elmesia in for Milim now, and then we can bring Diablo in for Rimuru. Now it's up to you if you want to use the green buff now or next turn. We're going to use it now because we need the points. It'll affect everything here, including the rainbows. So not really a choice, actually. But you can see that this mage is not taking super weak point damage from Elmesia because he is more weak to physical, whereas the knight is more weak to magic. So we're going to nuke harder on the knight with Elmesia than we would the mage. Also important, if you're trying to do max damage, you only take 1 damage from everybody. Also, that can be kind of difficult considering the mage raises his attacks. If you don't have the dupes, the gear, you're going to take damage, and if that's not something you can deal with, you're going to have to live with it. But we'll use the rainbow alt swap for Rimuru. This gives us 4 Elmesia orbs, which is great. We'll change them all to greens. They're going to be green buffed again with Diablo, and then we're just seeing what we get out of this. We don't actually want to send all those because we want to leave both of them alive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll flip over to the knight, 6. And then the rewind will kick in. We have the EX ult for Elmesia now. Great. And now we can use the attack buff and the synergy buff. Actually, just the attack buff. We cannot use the synergy yet, because otherwise we would just straight up kill everyone. So, we're going to use Velzard now. So, the incoming unit doesn't have that element buff. And we need to make sure that both people live here. So we have to be careful with where we send our orbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, we're going to flip it over. So you're going to take like 1 hit, 3 hits. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I totally forgot what I did yesterday. We're going to nuke on 1 character. Oh, I remember why. Because they both do AoEs here, and if you take both AoEs, you lose 1 point in damage. You can't do that, so you have to kill one of them. But you still have to do 1.4 million damage against this one enemy, so that's kind of the factor. I'm assuming most people won't be able to do this. Just leave both of them alive, take the point hit on your damage taken. It's not really that big of a deal. You're going to lose like maybe 100 points or something. So Elmesia buff, we've used the Diablo synergy buff, and let's use the element buff with Velzard. And now we can go ahead and do this. So 66k, 1.3 million. And because between their both HPs, they have enough to cover that extra little bit, we've actually done 1.5 actually. So there we go. So minus 5 points for minus 5 damage taken overall. If we had left that other mage alive and he'd done his AoE, we'd be at minus 8, and then we would have 1 point of damage received, which would put us at 135,999. So if you're trying to max it out, you do need to kill one of them, but you still need to do 1.4 million damage to the enemy. So if that's feasible for you, great. If it's not, well, I got a few more teams that you can at least try to use. Alright, next team, physical team with EX Guy. Also, probably our next best Earth character. Single target nuker, physical. So we know that he's going to be fairly strong. We're going to single target nuke, so we have to kill the Knight now, because Guy will do extra damage against the Mage. But New Year's Blessing Xion, guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. Veldora for the green orb change and the green buff. We've got Exalted Champion Rimuru here again. We've got the new masked hero. And then Isis, Awakened Isis. And this team, I think it does damage cap, but it will not do the defense-wise. So the damage received, you'll take damage with this team. Unless your dupes are really high for some reason. Which, I don't really know about that. So, let me figure out if this is the right run, actually, hold on. Okay, good, it is. It's not. This one is. Okay. Orb change of Veldora. It's going to hit his and Rimuru's orbs, full hand of green. If you want to bring Diablo, you can, and you could use the green buff for free. That would be pretty free and easy. But we're not. So, we're going to do this, and we're going to spread the damage out on only... Not spread, but we're going to send all the damage against the Knight, because he is the character that I don't want alive by turn 3. And actually, we get really lucky here, where we get a whole bunch of green orbs naturally, which I'm going to assume this doesn't happen for you. So most people right here are going to use Xion for the full hand of oranges. But we can do this. We can rewind. We can give ourselves extra alt gauge. We can bring Veldora in for Rimuru, use the convert and the green buff, and we have points left over. But more importantly, this is going to get us the EX ult for Guy now, because we have 4 boosted green orbs, and we got that extra 30% alt gauge from the hero. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now Guy's ready. He's got his EX ult. The rewind kicks in. We can use the Pierce buff with the masked hero and send him away. We don't have any orbs for him anyways, so it doesn't really make a difference. But now we'll bring in Isis, and then we'll use Xion now, which isn't going to give anybody a buff, because everyone up here is magic. But with the Pierce, we can, and Veldora being type advantage, we can actually kill this Knight, which is good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now this is going to go on to the Mage, who Guy wants to nuke on. So, take a hit here. Alright, cool. Yeah, took some damage. Oh well, whatever. Got 146 points. Not great, but it is enough. So, we'll bring Guy in, and we will use his buff and Isis, because they're going to be stronger. So Isis, the 120 down, the Guy guaranteed crits, which we're going to get from Xion anyways, but 80% alt damage. You don't have enough points to use Rimuru, unfortunately, and there was no way to really use that last turn either. If you can figure out a way to do that, then by all means go ahead, but I have neither the time or energy to do so. But now we gave Guy guaranteed synergy, and we'll send those 2 orbs, and then Guy himself does 1 million damage. So, not the damage cap, unfortunately, but it's still it's a reasonably respectable score. We weren't that far off. We took minus 49. We're still within 3 turns, and then we were 200k shy of the overkill. So, it can get the job done. It can get you a decent score. I wouldn't feel bad about this if I were you. Especially since Earth, again, is like one of the worst elements in the game. So, there's an option. I have one more for you, though. Alright, and that last option is, once again, bringing Guy. But now we're going to put him with his own actual Warrior's Mind Protector, Velzard. Bringing the hero, old hero again. Bringing Warrior's Mind Violet. Bringing First Anniversary Dark Milim for the turn 1 orb change. And now we've brought Diablo for the green buff. So turn 1 we could use Milim's Orb Convert and Diablo and get a full hand of boosted greens. And then we're going to rewind. Now, the thing about this team is that we are not going to turn 3. We're going past that. We're not going to go very far past it, turn 4. But because now we're getting the extra damage increase from Velzard, again, for physical allies versus space, it means that Guy's going to hit a lot harder. So, Orb Change with Lumi, or not Lumi, Milim. Even if she wasn't skill fused, you would still convert that, so it's not a big deal. And we actually we are not able to use her alt buff, which I would have done instead. But, well, would I have done? And details. Because we have the hero here. We would have gotten crits somehow. But we'll again send this on the knight because we want to nuke the mage. But we're already doing a lot more damage than what we're normally used to seeing. So here, 1 and 2. Alright, cool, thank you. A lot of Guy orbs. So you know what? Let's run with it. Let's rewind. Let's use the stack of Velzard. Gonna give us extra skill points on blues. Gonna give him extra attack. Very important. We're gonna send these orbs against the mage and get him a bit low on HP. So when we nuke, we do like a whole butt ton of damage against him instead of having to delete his health bar and then overkill. But here, kind of unfortunate that we didn't really get what we wanted. But we can kind of get out of it. We'll bring Violet in, we'll use her convert, and then Guy's convert. Give us a full hand of blues. We could use another stack of Velzard, more attack, more skill points on this turn. And then we can spread these orbs out because I don't want to kill the mage. I want to get him very, very low. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we move on to turn 3, which is normally where you're going to nuke, but not with this team. We need a few other things to go. And look at this. We have a good hand. We can just use Guy's Orb Change, and that'll get his EX ult, and we'll be able to kill the knight. So this works out fairly well. So another stack of Velzard, and then the Guy Orb Change. And then we'll be pretty much ready to use everything. What I didn't realize, though, is that on turn 3, if you don't kill, they stun you. Which, thankfully, as you can see as we kill here, thankfully don't kill the mage, but the stun misses Guy and Violet, but it hits Milim. Not the end of the world, but we do need to use some buffs here. So Guy, alt damage guarantee crits, Violet, crit resistance, or crit damage and alt resistance down. She is skill fused, please keep that in mind, so you're going to do more damage with her now than you would a normal Violet. And then we'll bring Diablo in for his synergy buff. So, how much damage are we going to do with another stack of Velzard? A lot. More than what we need to do. So even if your Violet isn't skill fused, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because we do 2 million. We only need to do like 1.4. So you're going to be okay if you want to run this team. But we did go to turn 4. We did take damage. So certainly not a max score team, but still a very good score team. So that's what I've got for you for Normal Battle 2. Please, if you have other teams that you've used, put them in the comments below so other people can see them, make my life easier. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.